Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. The Canadians get an absolutely massive win in Game 5 here over the Tampa Bay Lightning, just as I predicted, essentially. I mean, this entire series, I'm going to say it every single game, I feel like, until we're done. It's just so neck and neck, it's so tight. It's just like it's impossible to to take a breath during any part of this series. It's unbelievable what's been going on here. Every single game is like a 1 point game down to the wire. It's been unbelievable. Like, literally, the only time that a team has had more than a 1 goal lead in this series is in Game 4, and we ended up losing that series, losing that game there. So it's been incredibly back and forth, just unbelievable this series. But what's even more unbelievable in this entire series is the way that our depth players, our guys all throughout the lineup, are contributing to making this series go in our favor right now. We have a 3-2 lead in this series only because of our depth guys. And by the way, the Canadians won 3-2 in this game. I don't know if I said that before, but the only reason why we're even in this position at all is because of guys like Kirby Doc and Alexandre Texier and Zach Bolduc and all of those different guys. Brendan Gallagher just like slotted into the lineup for the first time in a long time, and he finds the back of the net within 3 minutes. Just it's unbelievable stuff that's going on. And like it really, like, if you look back at all of these games, like guys like Cole Caulfield are absolutely invisible in this series, and like by design, to be fair. Like, obviously Tampa is a very much a veteran team in the playoffs. They know how to shut down star players, and they're doing exactly that with Cole Caulfield. They're not giving him any space. And Cole Caulfield is not exactly the kind of guy who can just, bulldoze through guys or whatever and create his own space that way. So it's been a little bit of a challenging series for him outside of the power play. But, that being said, like, we need guys from, our depth to step up and make big plays, score big goals. And that's exactly what's been happening in this series. And that's a big reason why we're up 3-2 right now. So going into the game, obviously, as I just mentioned, Brendan Gallagher gets on the board exactly 3 minutes into the first period. It's a great all-around play. I mean, it also, like, in general, awesome to see Brendan Gallagher back in the lineup at all. Like, he's just been, obviously he's the heartbeat of this team. He's the lifeblood of the Montreal Canadiens, and he proves that yet again. He does a great job. As soon as he gets slotted into this lineup, he makes a big impact. It all starts from him as well. Obviously Newhook did a lot of the heavy lifting as well, but the only reason why the turnover in the neutral zone happened at all is because Brendan Gallagher reached out and got a nice poke check on the Tampa Bay player, which allowed Newhook to skate back in the other way, get a shot that went off the back wall, and then Newhook almost kind of pulled off an Ivan Demidov first career goal move. It went off the back wall, and he did kind of a fake and went to the backhand. Couldn't quite tuck it in, but it was just laying there in the crease for Brendan Gallagher. He crashes the net, which is where he scores all of his goals in his career. Cashes in for what I think was his 14th goal of the playoffs in his career, his first, obviously, of the playoffs this season, and it's an absolutely big one. It ends up being a very, very important goal in this game, as every goal in this series has been, but it's unbelievable to see, Brendan Gallagher get slotted into the lineup and immediately makes an impact. It's super cool to see that, and I think, obviously he's earned himself at least another game in this series considering that, and I think, once we go back home for Game 6 with a chance to win the series, close it out, Brendan Gallagher is going to get quite the ovation from the crowd when he steps onto the ice. So it's going to be very cool to see, and obviously just an amazing effort from him to be able to put himself in a position to score there. Unbelievable. And then we go to the Tampa Bay goals. I'll talk about both Tampa Bay goals, the one that made it 1-1 and the one that made it 2-2. Both of them just kind of mistakes in offensive zone time. I feel like both of them are caused by, we've got the puck in the offensive zone, we're establishing pressure, all that kind of stuff, and then we give up a 2-on-1, and it's largely just due to, this is something I've been talking about recently in the regular season, as well as just the obviously we have a ton of offensively minded defensemen on our roster right now, and they love to step up into the rush and try to help offensively, but I feel like there's been a big theme going on in this team where we're just not really capable of, slotting back and helping out on defense when we have a guy step up into the play. Obviously we want to have as many guys on on the forecheck and going towards the net as possible. But I feel like it's burned us obviously in this series, but all throughout the season it's burned us to just not have guys back when we need them back, and it allows for some odd man rushes going the other way. That's how both of these goals are scored. James and then Gensel gets the second one, both of them on 2-on-1s where Dobesh wasn't able to make the save, and when it was a shot both times there. I feel like Dobesh could have at least gotten one of those. I feel like they were not exactly the greatest shots. The James one was a pretty good shot, went underneath the arm there, the glove side. The Gensel one went right between his legs, and you don't love that on a 2-on-1 there. I mean, obviously it's a 2-on-1, you can't blame him too much, and obviously he was fantastic otherwise, but I think you would like to have seen a save on maybe one of those. But at the same time, especially the second goal that made it 2-2, the Jake Gensel goal, Mike Matheson just did not have a great sequence there at all. Specifically, it just he's stepping up into the play, he makes a turnover, we get the puck back and we get another chance there. Mike Matheson still got the puck. He goes and just rips the puck wide. He's point blank, rips it wide, and it goes, around the boards and springs a 2-on-1 the other way because he's into the play, and he misses the net completely and just springs it the other way. He's not there, which creates a 2-on-1 going the other way. And I just don't understand how in that entire sequence when Mike Matheson's been up into the play for a full minute at that point, no forward is at any point thinking that they should step back and kind of help him out and make sure that we're okay if we end up going the other way in a quick rush there. So it just ends up being an unfortunate situation that you would love to see a situation where there's at least somebody back to help it out, make the offense think a little bit more about what they want to do. Maybe if it's a 2-on-2 situation there, they just dump the puck in and they just don't even get a scoring chance at all. But it's definitely frustrating when we have so much offense going in that second one from Gensel there. We have so much offense going our way, and then just one missed net opportunity springs the other way, and it's a 2-2 game. So definitely things we got to clean up there. Both of those 2-on-1 opportunities, we got to be a little bit better at limiting those chances and being back on defense when we need to be. But other than that, I felt like overall, I felt like the Canadiens were really playing a very, very strong game. Obviously, we play very well on the road in general, so that's very good for us. But you would like to see a little bit of a better effort there, defensively on some things, but mostly, I feel like we played a very, very solid game. We were very much in control of that game for I would say probably 50 out of the 60 minutes. I think definitely down to the last couple of minutes there when we were protecting the 1-goal lead. They had tons of chances to score on us, but Dobesh played a really nice game at the end there. So yeah, we were able to close it out. But going back to our goals, obviously, so Brendan Gallagher scores the first one. James gets that second one into the second period there, but only 11 seconds later, 11 seconds later, Kirby Dach just does an absolute beautiful individual effort right off the faceoff. Suzuki gets an assist on this one for Bolduc and Goulet get the assists on this one just for zipping it up and giving it to Dach in the first place. He just drives the net on that left side there, protects the puck, just beats his defenseman, goes to the middle of the ice, kicks the puck up to his stick and just buries that past Vasilevsky. That's a huge goal for so many reasons. One, just unbelievable individual effort there from Dach that just drive the net. That's when Dach's at his best. That's the kind of stuff that he's able to do. He's got that big frame. He can, drive the net. He can lower the shoulder a little bit and get to the front of the net area. And when he's at his best, like over the past couple of years with the Canadiens, when he's, healthy and he's playing at his best, those are the kind of plays that he's able to do. And it feels like Dach has really been unlocked at the right time here. He's been absolutely unbelievable as of late. He's doing the right things here. He's getting the goals. He's got 2 goals in this series. He's got, I think 3 or 4 points or whatever. So he's been playing absolutely fantastic. His line has been playing absolutely fantastic as well, and we are all getting rewarded for it right now. And again, with 11 seconds after Tampa scores to tie this game up, to absolutely shut up the crowd literally right after, as they were announcing the Tampa Bay goal in the first place, is just such a huge momentum shifter in this game. Obviously, we end up going tied again right after that, but for the time being, it was an absolute absolute killer of momentum against Tampa Bay there to get that 2-1 lead, to just regain the lead right away is just, an unbelievable thing, and that really helped us out there. But also just, obviously just Kirby Dach is just doing incredible things. This is like clearly the best game, like the best couple games I've ever seen Kirby Dach play. Obviously, I feel like since 2022, we really haven't seen him play that many games because he's been injured almost every year. But I feel like he's really playing the best hockey of his life at the absolute best time. And, it's very, very exciting to see. So that gave us a 2-1 lead. Jake Gensel, as I just mentioned, tied that thing up. Tough play by Matheson, and we just can't get back to make that work. And then who else but Alexandre Texier to score what would be the game-winning goal, his second of the postseason there. It all starts with a Lane Hudson absolute dime of a pass to find Texier. We're in our own zone, kind of reloading there. Suzuki gives it over to Hudson. Hudson does an absolute stretch pass. I think on the ESPN broadcast they showed us about like an 80-foot pass or something like that finds Texier streaking through the far side there. He goes kind of in one-on-one, just kind of takes a rip. It goes off like the tip of the glove of Vasilevsky, goes up and over him and in, and just what a shot from him. What a pass by Lane Hudson. And I think just the biggest story of this entire thing is the fact that Alexandre Texier got dropped by the St. Louis Blues. Like, I can't believe that that's even a thing. Texier got literally terminated, his contract terminated by the St. Louis Blues like 4 months ago or whatever, and now he's scoring game-winning goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the Montreal Canadiens. It is an unbelievable turnaround for him, and just like what a home he's found with Montreal. And obviously there's been ups and downs for him this season, and honestly I think outside of the times where he scores goals, I'm not really sure like what exactly he's doing. I mean, obviously I think he plays pretty well outside of that. He's got some good puck protection instincts. He's had some other good shots or whatever, but it's not like he's like absolutely taking over the game. But when we need a goal, Texier seems to be the guy who's able to come in and find those goals, and what a shot to give us the game-winning goal there. And just like what a career with the Habs he's had so far. What a season he's had so far, just going from getting his contract terminated by the St. Louis Blues to coming in here in Montreal and just completely turning his game around. And he's been an absolutely like undeniable piece to this puzzle here. He's been absolutely incredible. So it's been very cool to see all of that stuff, and obviously it works out very well for us. It gives us that the only goal in that entire third period there ends up being the game winner. We go into the rest of the third period there. The goalie gets pulled. We do some great job with face-off wins and obviously blocking shots, all that kind of stuff. Dobesh was big when he needed to be, made some absolutely incredible saves down low at the end of the game there. So, we absolutely survived an onslaught. It ended up being 40-24, the shots on goal in favor of Tampa Bay. So, we were absolutely getting peppered at the end of that game, but Dobesh and the defense held strong and got us that big win at the end of the day. So, just a huge effort all the way around. Like there's everything is there, right? The only thing is that it's not there is what I said in the last video, is just that the top line is just not there. And it's unbelievable that we're up 3-2 in a series where Cole Caulfield only has one goal. Suzuki hasn't scored at all. Slavkovsky hasn't scored on 5-on-5. Obviously he's got that hat trick in game one, but they were all on the power play. So, you would love to see the top line be a little bit more effective, but obviously, honestly, at 5-on-5, if that third line with, Kirby Dach and Bolduc and Texier are going to continue to cook the way that they are right now, I don't have any issues with that. They're continuing to be, an absolute domination of a force right now, and I think it's a good thing, because obviously you can't really, as John Cooper and the Lightning, they can't really shift, or allocate their defense differently to take care of that third line without also making it a little bit easier for Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki, Slavkovsky to come in and have a little bit of an easier time on 5-on-5. So obviously, it's pretty obvious to say that there's no it's been incredible to see what this third line has been able to do. They're all playing like their best hockey of the season right now, and it's making a huge difference. So that, and obviously Gallagher coming in and making a huge difference. He's been incredible as of late there. So all of that stuff is incredible. Also, you want to mention the face-off percentage. We ended the game 66% of face-offs won. To Tampa Bay's only 34, so dominated the face-off circle as well. That makes a big difference. Obviously, blocked 16 shots there, threw 37 hits in this game to Tampa's 23. So who's bullying who, right? It's a big deal there. So again, like there's no two ways about it. It's an absolutely massive win for the Montreal Canadiens, and now we have a chance to go home in Game 6 and find a way to close this thing out in 6 over the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is something that pretty much nobody thought we could do. I think everybody thought that Tampa was going to steamroll us. They were too experienced, too physical. They were going to bully us, whatever. And here we are. We have two chances, starting off in Game 6 on Friday night to take this one from the Tampa Bay Lightning and move on to the second round. So that is pretty much all I have for you guys on this one. A great win, great series overall, obviously, but I am very much looking forward for it to be over on Friday. So again, that is all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you after the series is over. The Tampa Bay Lightning are gone, and the Montreal Canadiens move on to the second round on Friday.